So I don't know if you guys know or not, but if you don't know, you're about to find out. The NBA or certain players in the NBA, certain players and coaches and stuff like that in the NBA are being tied up in this gambling scandal, if you will. And it's, bruh, like it's crazy. It's from Maine to Spain. It's stuff talking about illegal poker games, shaving points, rumors about throwing the games to where, and basically, if you don't know what throwing the game means, basically that means like if you're a player and you're in this whole situation, throwing the game would mean that you checked yourself out the game or act like you were hurt to get out the game, and so the team wouldn't win, or so that the team wouldn't reach a certain number that they would have reached if you were playing. It's stuff like that, like as far as throwing the game. So, or I mean, you're on the court and you just start just missing shots because you can't win the game or whatever. So now you just start throwing the game away. Pretty much, that's what throwing the game is. So it's stuff about throwing the game. It's stuff about players intentionally missing games, giving away information, all kinds of stuff, man. It's crazy. And players like Terry, and no offense to these players or anything like that, but players like Terry Rozier are in it. Malik Beasley, Ed Davis. It's a whole NBA coach, Chauncey Billups. It's so much. No offense to any of these people, but I'm just throwing out a couple of the names that you guys probably would know. It's just so many. Former NBA player Damian Jones. I'm sorry, Damon Jones. It's all kind of stuff going on. It's all kind of stuff that's rumored to be happening, rumored to be going on, and now they are under investigation, and it's been going on for quite a while now. But what sparked this, if you will, idea for this video is the latest additions into this whole scandal and situation were Malik Beasley and Ed Davis. And now, granted, Malik Beasley already was kind of under, I guess you would say, under the light or under the microscope, if you will, because if you didn't know, he was playing with the Detroit Pistons, having a great season, right? Making $6 million with the Pistons, okay? He was having a great season, playing great, everything, right? A season that you would want. They went to the playoffs. He was doing his thing. He was hitting his threes. He was in line to get a $42 million extension. A $42 million extension. Okay? And simply, that fell through because they found some things, or they discovered some things, put it like that he wasn't he wasn't just playing the game, if you know what I mean. He was involved in some other things off the court, involved with some things that were not deemed legal by the NBA. So they dropped the extension, which is a team's right to do. They dropped the extension. They didn't give him the extension. He was making $6 million, but after that, it was over after that. There was no more extension. They dropped the extension talks. They dropped all that, which teams do pretty regularly if you're not keeping on your P's and Q's. Like, they'll happily drop those extension talks. You can go from, oh yeah, I'm in line to make $100 million this summer, and let you do something off the wall and don't they be like, oh yeah, you were in line to make $100 million. Now you better be happy with this minimum contract we finna give you. But anyway, Malik Beasley was in a situation like that. And once again, we're not here to, or at least I'm not going to try to. I'm not going to try to bash or any of that with any of these players, coaches, whoever are in these indictments or whatever. I'm not going to try to put them on blast or blast, them for, was it a bad situation? Absolutely. Was it a bad decision? Absolutely. But I'm not going to bash them or say they're terrible people, or I'm not going to say that. What I will say is this. I will play that role of, if you will say, a big brother, or not even a big brother, but just a brother. A brother that's going to call you out on your mistakes. And that's, everybody knows that's a brother relationship. A brother relationship is, if you're wrong, then I ain't gonna lie, bruh, you was wrong on that one. But you still my brother, but I ain't gonna lie, bruh, you was wrong on that one. So playing that role, allow me to say this right here. With everyone who are in these indictments, who did these things that they said that you did, who gambled on games, stuff like that. Allow me to say this. I don't know what your reasoning was. I don't know why you did that. I don't know why that was the resort you went to make some funds or get money coming in. I don't know why you chose that route. I don't know why. What I will say is this. I don't believe it was worth it. And if it was worth it, please show me why. What, for publicity? Publicity and potentially never being able to play in the NBA again? Now, granted, I believe Malik Beasley just signed with the Miami Heat, so he's in the, he's gonna play this year, but just be honest with me, or just explain it to me. Why? Like, what was the point? You want the publicity? Was it like, was it really worth it? You wanted the publicity, you wanted the money, and here's the thing about that, real quick. The money factor. I'm just gonna use Malik Beasley from what I heard, or from the information I have on Malik Beasley. So he was being investigated for around around $70K. We're not even gonna put no figures on it, but we'll just say around $70K, right? For throwing the game, or for, affecting the game in a way that, people could gamble on it, and he can ensure that he wasn't playing his best to throw the game or whatever, right? For $70K. So pretty much, hypothetically, he threw the game or whatever for $70K. Or put himself in position to look like he was throwing the game for $70K. We'll just say that, just to make it, sound better. $70K. Bruh. Malik Beasley, you were making $6 million in your time with Detroit. What you need $70K for? Come on. What you need $70K for, bro? You're making $6 million, and I know people in the comments gonna be like, yeah, but that's $6 million, but that's also taxes and agent fees and this and that. Absolutely 100%, and you are absolutely right. With all due respect, pay your agents, pay your people, pay the people around you, pay your team, all of that. I agree with that. Pay your taxes, please. I agree with all of that, 1,000%. But you're making, at the end of the day, somewhere around, general whole figures of $6 million. What you need $70K for, even after you pay your taxes, it was a 1-year deal. So you're getting that in 1 year. So even after you pay your taxes, your agents, your team, your people around you, handle your family business, right? Handle your household, handle all of that. Take care of your girl, all that stuff. Once you take care of all that stuff, bruh, you still got the M's, okay? You still got millions. What you trying to $70K? 70K, bro. What's 70K? You make that in what? A couple games? Like what, bro? You play 82 games. You make that in like a couple games, if not a game. Like, what you need 70K for? And granted, once again, I'm gonna say this again. I don't know why you chose that route. I don't know why. I don't know why you went the gambling route or throwing the game route or affecting. I don't know why you went that route. I don't know. I don't know what you were going through. I don't know what your family situation is. I don't know who need money from you in your family. I don't know who you're supporting outside of your family, outside of your household. I don't know who that is. And whoever that is, they may need money and they may need your resources and whatever, and they need you. Like, hey, bees, man, we need we need you to make something happen. And maybe maybe someone was in his ear saying that, like, hey, we need to make something happen. But look, as terrible as a family member as I might sound right now, soon as they came to you with that, like, hey, we need you to make something happen. And soon as you knew that it was gonna take that illegal route for you to go do it, your immediate response, I don't care what. Look, hey, look, I know I'm gonna sound like a terrible family member, but I'm gonna keep it what it is. Keep it 100. I don't care how good of a family member they are to you, what they did for you, how they took care of you when you were younger, what they bought for you when you were younger, how they supported you all the way till you made it to the NBA and kept supporting you, and there's your support system, and they hype you up every time you see them, and every time you call them, they let you know how good you're doing. I don't care about none of that. Soon as they told you, hypothetically, and I don't know if this is what happened, but if it is what happened, I'm just letting you know. Soon as they told you, or any of these players in these indictments, hey, look, we need y'all to make something happen. So one of y'all family members or friends, whoever sparked the idea for y'all to do it, hypothetically, if it was someone in your ear telling you to do it, your response to them, I don't care how good of a family member they were, a friend to you they were, your response should have been, look, I get it, but look, nah, I can't do that. I can't do that. But look, hey, here's the thing. You say I can't. It ain't like you ain't gonna eventually be able to help them out. You making, at least in Bees' case, you making somewhere around $6 million. So you're gonna be able to help them out eventually. By the end of the season, you'll be able to help them out. Tell them, keep it real with them. Give me a couple months. Or, I mean, if you want to be real with them and just be an honest family member, tell them, how about this? How about you go make something happen? How about you go get a job? You go work at, I don't care where you got to work to get it done, but how about you go handle what you got to handle, and I'm going to keep handling what I got to handle on this NBA court playing basketball, taking care of my family and my household. How about you go make something happen? Because I ain't putting myself in position to do nothing like that. Pause. That should have been all of y'all NBA players, coaches, whoever. That should have been y'all response to anybody who was in y'all ear telling y'all to do this. And I'm not even sure if it was a situation like that. I'm just saying, if it was hypothetically, that should have been the answer. Y'all worked too hard to get here. Pause. Y'all know the hurdles it took to get to the NBA. I don't gotta tell you or remind you what it took. You know what it took to get to the NBA. You know all them late night practices, late night, workouts, all them 2-a-days, like Kobe said, 5-a-days, all them workouts you went through, all them times where you thought people didn't see you, all them times where you probably thought you were underrated, all the times where you were just working and really didn't know what you were working for because you didn't even know if you were gonna get to the NBA or not. But then God ultimately got you to that point, and you put that in jeopardy for some K's when you making M's? For some K's when you making M's. We hustling backwards, bruh. We hustling backwards. And like I said, I'm not bashing none of these players. I'm not. And I know it maybe sounds like that, but I'm not bashing none of these players. I'm just playing the brother role and just telling you what you need to hear. I'm sorry. It's just what it is. Look, you got friends. I don't care if, with all due respect, I don't care if it was your significant other. And they, hey, look, okay, I'm just saying hypothetically, we got to take care of the household. You're only making, hypothetically, I'm just saying in just a general situation, you're only making a meal, but we got this coming up. We need you to go make something happen. Hey, you should have politely looked over to your significant other and told her straight like this. Look over to your significant other and tell them straight like this. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but nah, I can't even do that. Nah, I can't do that. Nah, because you know what it took to get here. So why would you ever put yourself in a situation to where they can come take it from you. Pause. Your number one goal when you entered the NBA should have been this right here. Make as much money as possible. Get your money, of course. Play as great as you can. But also an extra goal of yours should have been, I am going to leave this game when I am good and ready to. When I get tired and I can't play and I feel like I don't want to play anymore, or I know I can't play anymore, then I'll retire. It won't be a thing of, oh yeah, I messed up and decided to throw some games and get into a gambling scandal, and ever since then, don't no team call me, because who want that drama on their team? It shouldn't be a situation like that. Now, granted, Malik Beasley just signed with the Miami Heat. Or at least from what I'm hearing, But, I mean, look at how you're going to be looked at in the Miami Heat organization. And I know they probably not going to say it to you. The players probably not going to look at you no way. But the people in the front office talking about it. Come on now. The people in the front office, like, you got to watch him, We don't know if he shoot a three and miss. We don't know if did he really miss the three, or is he trying to throw the game again. We don't know. So that's how you gonna be looked at for the rest of your career. And that don't go for just. I'm not just bagging on Bees. No, I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about Terry Rozier. All of these players in these indictments. That's how y'all gonna be looked at for the rest of your career. Terry Rozier, Bees, Ed Davis, all the coaches. You can't. Every person in this indictment that it has an active role in doing whatever it is they do, they ain't never gonna be looked at the same no more. Ever, never, ever. They never gonna be. What Smokey say on Friday? Never, ever. They're never gonna be looked at the same way ever. They can't make no mistakes. You want to know why? Because the first thing that's going to go through the thought of the front office or the owner of the team is, I wonder are they messing up because they just messing up, or I wonder is they messing up because they doing something, they doing something a little off again. I wonder. That's what everybody gonna be thinking. And even, I hate to say it, but even your teammates gonna be, they ain't gonna tell you that, but then your teammates probably gonna be looking at you a little strange too. Like, let me not mention my bread around him, because I don't know. I don't want to get caught up in no paperwork. And you can't say nothing because, hey, they hanging around you. They putting themselves in jeopardy. You can't say nothing because you own paperwork already. So if you and think about this, regardless of what you were trying to get, right? Say what, I don't know, but from what I heard with the Malik Beasley situation, it was $70K or around $70K, right? Think about all that. You are about to sign upwards of a $40 million extension, and you risk that for $70K, bruh. We hustling backwards. Come on, man. You and I know it wasn't even like this, like it didn't work out like that. Like, oh, if you take this or that, pause. Like, okay, you get the 40 mil or the same. I know it wasn't like an option, but I'm just saying, in hindsight, this is what you did. You turned down upwards of $40 million. And I'm just using Bees' situation to just use an example. You turned down upwards of $40 million, right? For what, 3.6 you're getting from Miami, I heard. Or at least I'm hearing. I'm hearing that you're getting 3.6 from Miami. So you turned it down for 3.6 mil and $70K. So you got so you chose $70K and $3.6 million. By the way, the 3.6 you still got to pay taxes out of, by the way. But anyway, you chose $3.6 million. And you chose $3.6 million, bro. Well, actually, he's in Florida now, so you don't have to worry about taxes and stuff like that. But, no taxes like that. That's kind of part of the appeal of going to Florida. But anyway, 3.6 mil. and 70K over upwards of $40 million. Do that sound like an even exchange to you? I'm gonna ask you, do that sound like an even exchange to you? I could have had $40+ million and I chose 70K and $3.6 million. And like I said, the taxes part, let me correct myself. He ain't gotta worry about really no taxes because he in Florida now, so he ain't gotta worry about really no taxes. But 3.6 mil, and even without taxes, 3.6 mil and 70K, and you could have had upwards of 40 mil. Do that sound like a fair exchange to you? I'll wait. No, I ain't gonna wait. No, it don't sound like no fair exchange, and you know that. So look at the position. Look at the position that all these players and coaches put themselves in. Chauncey Billups, and Chauncey Billups getting caught in 4K at the poker game. Come on, bruh. And you've been an NBA player before. You know that all the spotlight is on you as a coach, as in the media, you know that. And I'm not saying that everybody don't make mistakes. We're all human. All of us make mistakes. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But you know, like, what goes on. So, like, you should know, like, you've been an NBA player before, Chauncey. Like, you've been an NBA player before, right? So you know that attention is on you at all times. You know, when you're associated with the NBA, attention is on you at all times. So you know, like, okay, let me move a little smarter. You know, and I know he probably wasn't expecting no cameras to be at the poker game or whatever, you know, but maybe you shouldn't be at poker games. I'm just saying, maybe you shouldn't be at poker games. How about play spades in the crib? How about that? How about that? Don't be at no poker game. How about that? Like, it's just, I don't understand the risk versus the reward factor. I don't. That's like, I'm sure y'all would have some questions for me. Let's say hypothetically, if I started to coach, you guys know I live in Atlanta. So let's say hypothetically, the Atlanta Hawks, right, hire me as their assistant head coach, or let's say I'm the head coach, right? Cool. And so, hey, Chill is gonna be the head coach, right? Cool. So I know that I have all this attention on me because I would have just gotten hired. I know I got all the attention, all the press, all the media. Y'all would have some questions for me and look at me kind of stupid if I literally got the head coaching position and then y'all heard, yeah, oh yeah, he was over at the casino gambling with the money he just got from the new head coaching contract. But then you gonna be like, what are you doing? You hustling backwards, bruh. We just got to the bag. We trying to increase the bag, not hustle backwards and sacrifice the bag. Sacrificing 40+ mil for 70K and 3.6 mil is hustling backwards. We going backwards. Putting yourself in a situation to where you're never probably going to be on a team again, which is the position that Terry Rozier is in now, pause, which is honestly, all these coaches and players have put themselves in that position, pause. That's hustling backwards, because guess what? When you was gambling that 70K, that 50K, that 100K, when you was gambling all that, yeah, that's cool, yeah, have fun, yeah. But understand this. Them NBA checks probably over with. So what we gonna do now? Now ain't no money coming in. So what we gonna do now? So honestly, look yourself in the mirror, bro. And I'm not bashing none of these players, but look yourself in the mirror. All of these players on these indictments, and just ask yourself this question. Was it really worth it? Like for real. Like, was it really worth it? Like, just ask yourself that. Like, was it really worth it? The fact that I worked so hard to get to the NBA, and the fact that I'm probably never going to see, and I'm not talking about Bees because he will, fortunately, but all the rest of the players on the indictments, like the fact that I'm probably putting myself in a position, pause, to where I'm never gonna see another NBA check again, never gonna be able to play again. Like, was that really worth it for some gambling? Really? For some gambling? For what? 50K, 100K, 70K. When I'm making meals, I'm hustling for K's. Come on, bruh. That ain't how. Come on, man. That ain't standing on business. That ain't standing on business. We hustling backwards. So, like I said, no bashing on any of these players, but just playing a brother role. Look, that ain't what's up. That is not what's up. And I hope that these players learn, these coaches, everyone in these indictments, not bashing anybody, once again, I hope they learn their lessons, and I hope that they know whatever the reasons was for them getting in this in the first place, pause. I hope they really start the process that it really wasn't worth it. It wasn't. But this whole situation is crazy, man. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below, man. Chill out, man, for real.